This painting isn't finished. It's barely begun. But I can already feel that it's going to be one of the most important pieces I've ever made. Because I'm not the same person I was when I made my last body of work. Hi, I'm Jenna, and I'm in the beginning stages of a new painting. The first in a series I'm starting that dives into grief, symbolism, and birds. I'm about a quarter of the way through this piece right now. And honestly, even being this far into it has already brought up a new wave of grief that I just didn't expect. This isn't just a painting for me. It feels like a portal. Over the last 6 months, I've gone through a tremendous amount of loss. I lost Luna first, then I lost my pregnancy, then I lost Leo. And when you go through losses like that, back to back, it doesn't just break your heart, it changes your nervous system. It changes your identity. It changes the way you see the world. It changes the way you see yourself. There were months where I felt like I was just trying to survive each day. I cried by the lake almost every morning, sometimes for hours. Nature became the only place that felt safe enough to fall apart in. Like the water and the wind were just holding me. And eventually I realized something had shifted. Not that the grief went away, but that something inside me started to return. The birds were the first thing that made me feel alive again. I started noticing them everywhere. I started learning their patterns, their calls, the way they move like they belong to something ancient. And they did something to me. They brought my attention back to the present moment. They pulled me out of my head and back into the world. They set my heart on fire again. On one of those mornings, I was out looking for birds, and the idea of the falconry hood came to me so clearly. It wasn't like I sat down and planned it. It was like it arrived. And it felt like the most honest symbol of grief. Because grief is like being hooded. You're still here, you're still breathing, but you can't see forward. You can't see the future. You can't see what life is going to look like on the other side. You're forced to surrender. You're forced to trust without proof. Starting this piece has felt like tapping straight into the ether. And I don't say that lightly. It's like the moment I step up to the canvas, I'm not just painting an image, I'm opening something. It feels like I'm touching source, like I'm reaching into the unseen and pulling something through. And that can be a magical experience, but it also brings you face to face with your deepest fears, your weaknesses, the parts of you you'd rather not feel. Because grief lives in the body, and when you create, you don't get to avoid it. Now, I've realized that if you stay in this place for too long, you can get burned. It's like standing too close to the sun. There's a beauty there. There's truth there. There's power there. But it can also take everything out of you. So I'm learning to tread lightly. I'm learning how to work with grief without letting it swallow me. I'm learning how to honor it without living inside it. Even though this painting is still in its early stages, I already know what each part means to me. The falconry hood represents surrender and walking through the unknown without being able to see ahead. The lamb represents innocence, tenderness, and the part of me that grief has tried to harden but hasn't succeeded. The birds represent the return of spirit, And the sun and moon above her are Leo and Luna, my companions, my protectors, my light. And right now, I'm coming up on my due date, and I didn't realize how much that would affect me until it got close. Grief has a strange way of returning in waves. You think you've processed something, then a date comes around or a season changes, and suddenly you're right back in it. It's like your body remembers. And making this painting during this time feels like both an offering and an unraveling. I think this is the beginning of a completely new chapter in my work. Not because I'm trying to reinvent myself, but because grief has already reinvented me. This series is going to be about the symbolism of birds and the way they've guided me through loss. It's going to be about the unseen world, the messages, the devotion, the transformation. It's going to be about transmutation, turning pain into meaning, and letting art become the place where love can still exist. I don't know exactly what this painting is going to become yet, but I can feel that it's alive. And I can feel that it's asking something of me. So I'm going to keep going, slowly, carefully, honestly. This will be part 1 of a series. Thank you for being here. Thank you for witnessing this with me. And Leo and Luna, thank you for still being my sun and my moon. I'll see you in the next part.